Hey everybody, Isho here. So this is not gonna be like a normal lecture or part of the season 1 and season 2. This is gonna be more like off the hinges, kind of heart to heart kind of talk. Um, because the Antichrist managed to show up the other day, I feel that I was pulled into the game kind of too quickly and jumped straight into it because why not? When I see evil, I think it should be called out. When people are lying, when people say stuff they shouldn't be saying, when they're deceiving people, when they are when they're causing harm, or if they are like a government psyop and they're funded by an organization and they are trying to trick people and deceive people because I've studied the old and the new. And so obviously I know that when he was going to show up, that's when the game starts. Now there's been many contenders to the whole thing. I thought for a long time Bill Gates was on the top of the list, and Prince Charles, and other people like Ice Cream Biden. But he showed up. He stepped into the game, and he uh, he lied straight through the whole thing. Um, who am I the successor to? I guess truth would be who I'm the successor to, and the thing that I worship is also the truth, and the thing that brought me here is also the truth. A couple of years ago, there was a voice in my mind, and it said, "It's time now." And I say, "What was it time for?" I mean, I'm just a guy, just studying spirituality and esotericism and the occult and alchemy, and I'm reading about conspiracies, and I'm teaching people how to meditate and do mindfulness and how to connect to God and how to astral project and stuff like that. And didn't think much about it. And he said, "Yeah, well, you need to go change your name." And I'm like, "Okay, what should I change it to?" So, well, you know. No, I don't know. Well, you're gonna have to go and look it up. Okay. What am I looking for? Well, first you need to know the language. Okay. So, what's the language? Well, it's the language of that region. Uh-huh. And it's like slowly dawning upon me because a couple of years ago when I started my journey, I was doing something called tulpamancy, which is essentially creating a spiritual link, an imaginary friend, you could call it as well, but it's a form of tulpa, you know. And the guy that I created was essentially a nobody, a nothing. And then part of the process is that you also give it a shape. And so I asked it, like, how do you want to look like? And he's like, yeah, I want a white robe, a pair of sandals, I want long hair. I didn't think much about it, obviously. And then some days later, I was like, hold on. When you wanted me to shape you into a form, like, you picked a very specific way to look. He's like, yeah, yeah. So are you that guy? And he's like, yeah. Oh, okay. So you're my teacher. It's like, yeah, sure. You could say that. And a couple of years after that, I was out walking and he showed me a vision, and it was about how to communicate with animals. And In this vision, he shows me a bird on a tree, and he shows me the heart, and then he shows like there's a link coming out of the heart, and he's like, this is how you communicate with animals. And that taught me a form of intuitive telepathy. And I've been doing spiritual stuff for years, obviously, so but that's just one of the things. But essentially, I created my best friend, I created my teacher that turned out to be me. So when God said to me, it's time to change name on social media, I had already had a couple of names already. And these, oh, excuse me, these names are kind of funny, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But I had to go and look it up, obviously, because it was not easy to find. Everyone wants to say it's Hebrew, Yeshua, Yahshua, whatever. And then God's like, no, that's not it. And then I changed my name. And that's been 6 years since then. And as I said in the message video earlier, I have 5 names. I should have had 6, but it didn't fit on the ID card, on the birth certificate. And so that is Father of Peace, which is my middle name, the Stone, which is my first name, but it's actually my second name. And then it's, Son of Odin, and then it's Strong Man's Son, and then it's Flower Fields, essentially. And I'm the only person in the world with that name. Because of where I was born, I have a special character in my name. And I'm pretty easy to find if you know who I am, but I kind of want to keep it on the low side. And so I changed names 6 years ago on social media. And since then, I've been crucified, pretty much. I thought that people wanted to meet me. I thought people wanted to talk to me. I thought people wanted to learn things, that they wanted to know things. But I was naive. I believe in the best in people. I believe in good. I believe people have the capacity for it. And I'm going to quote Keanu Reeves, I don't want to live in a world where kindness is seen as a weakness. So, since I changed name, I've been pretty much harassed and bullied every day for 5 years. So, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and change your name into my name. And then you can pretend to be me and walk around and see how people treat you and what they think about you and what they say. Because it feels like I've seen the true face of humanity. Feels like I've seen essentially people without a filter, people without masks, or people perhaps with masks. And so it didn't feel good in the beginning. I felt very unappreciated, very ungrateful. No, like I felt like people were ungrateful for me, correction. And I've lost a lot of friends. 1 by 1, 10 by 10, 20 by 20. I've seen the good side of humanity and I've seen the worst side of humanity. And so I don't take it personal, honestly. But I do understand that my name is an eyesore, a splinter in their head, a constant reminder about the book, the living gospel, about divinity, about God, about spirituality. If I met a person like myself, I would probably question their authenticity, their legitimacy. But depending on how they treated me, well, like, I'm a nice person. I treat my friends with respect. I try not to talk about them. I try not to backstab them. I try to help them. I try to lift them, bring them up. I try to heal them. I try to be there for them. I try to listen. I try to believe in them, but I can't always believe in what people say because a lot of people are lying. But I do my best treating people the way I want to be treated. So if that was me without this name, then I would obviously be curious, like, why do you have that name? And interestingly, on Twitter, or what we call X these days, I've met probably 30, 40, maybe even 50 people carrying all kinds of variations of my name. Jesus, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Samael. A lot of people have different ideas about what my name should be or what it used to be or what translation it should, etc. Blah blah blah. And I met them, I talked to them, and for a person carrying my effing name, they were pretty rude. It's almost like two electric forces clashing, like two magnets going at it. I respected those people. I interviewed them. I asked them questions because after studying for 20 years, pretty much everything under heaven, I've learned a lot of things. And so because I've learned that I'm eternal and that I'm immortal and I'm going to live forever through me and through everyone else, and everyone I meet is a rendition of me, of my heart. Obviously, we don't know that because reincarnation amnesia, but when I met people who carried my name, I interviewed them, obviously, because I wanted to test them. So I have a prerogative. I have a thing. I'm going to be honest with you, you know? I mean, even though God said to me, go change your name, I'm still going to say it. So I'm going to carry this name until I meet the guy. And if I don't meet the guy, I'm going to assume I'm him. And if I do meet him, I would like to work with him. I would like to save this excuse of a blue marble. So I mantle that name. I carry it. If you Google it, you will find me. Isho Nasraya, or Messiah Isho, right? Isho Mshah. So I will carry that name until I meet him, until he appears. So I was a little bit surprised when Mr. Mahdi appeared 2 weeks ago, claiming to be me. And his name is not even remotely close to anything I would think that his name would be. And then he starts lying and he spews out all those things and he says, obey, obey me, obey. So when he said obey and obliged to obey, and he said, from the horn to the west and the horn to the east beneath the lies, I just knew it. It was just too obvious. And I don't want to see people get hurt anymore because it hurts me, literally, because they are me, because we are one. When the COVID happened, I saw friends, family, relatives go into that sweet winter of man. I saw them perish. I saw them die while they were still alive. I saw them fall for a psyop, a trick, a deception. I saw them divide themselves, mask themselves, inject themselves. And I lost friends because they did so, because I warned them. I warned them ahead of time because I had read about it, I had predicted it, I have seen it. I can tell you about the vision. So I had a vision in 2018 where there was 3 queues. It was A, B, and C. And in queue A, people were jumping into a pit, just a big black pit they're just jumping into. And the second one was a little tent, but the tent was set up right next to the pit. And then people went in there and they would test whether or not they want to go into line A or line C. And then line C was just a line of people walking into a bright light. And then when COVID happened, I saw people jump into the pit. I saw people test themselves with things, and they were intense. And then line C, they didn't do any of those things. And I picked that line metaphorically and practically. I estimate that the guy who orchestrated this beat Genghis Khan's high score and Hitler's high score and Mao Zedong and Pol Pot. I think they beat all of their high scores together. So because of that, I know we are in the end times. This is Judgment Day, Tribulation, Apocalypse, Revelation, all in one. I'm quite amazed at the previous version of me essentially being able to predict so far into the future the events that has unfolded these last 20 years. And at some point I wondered if it's not a prediction, maybe it was an instruction manual. Maybe it was made to be so that the devil would follow the Revelation script to the T. Maybe it inspired the devil. Maybe it inspired the ego. Maybe they used it as an instruction manual, as a script. Or maybe they actually did predict it. Now I see the mark of the beast in your hand when you go to the shop. You blip it on the machines and on the forehead with the Google glasses or the cap or whatever thing, and you have the credit card with the little digits on them, and there's a barcode on everything you buy, 666 everywhere, and people still don't see it. They're absolutely blind to it. You have the monster soda drink, vav vav vav, that's 666. And then in computing, you have lots of 666 everywhere. The mark of the beast is everywhere, and people don't see it. So we're right here now. We're in Revelation right now, like no doubt. And you should know that the adversary, the evil team, is working night and day to steal your last liberties, your rights, your free speech, your freedom of movement, your opinions, your spiritual liberties. They're stealing everything bit by bit. Ever since 9/11, it's been kind of downhill. Ever since World War II, it's been kind of downhill. Ever since Rothschild bought the London Bank during the Napoleon War, it's been going downhill. And ever since 1776, when the Illuminati was formed, it's been going downhill. And ever since the medieval Dark Ages with the Vatican, it's been going downhill. And ever since the Council of Nicaea, it's been going downhill. And you guys are still eating it all up. Wake up. Seriously. Like, you're going to have a camera in your bathroom when you take a dump. And you're going to sit there and be like, oh, I feel so safe. Wake up. Seriously. It's happening all around us. Bit by bit, they're taking away everything. What we used to have, what we used to do. The people in the past, they didn't have Google, they didn't have AI, they didn't have video games, they didn't have TVs and radios and all that stuff. It's like 100 years old compared to what used to be. And now these days, people cannot cook, they cannot do anything, they cannot think, they cannot critically think, they cannot form opinions. They don't want to, they're actively avoiding it. They are becoming dumber. And because people are becoming dumber, kindness is also eroding. The way that we treat each other, the way that people act. People are becoming more selfish. They are lovers of things. They are lovers of materialism. They are lovers of the adversary's deception and entertainment. They are lovers of music that speak heresy, that speak about degeneracy, that speak about idolatrous things and lust and drugs. And people are just slowly walking into it. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Everything is cool. Yeah, really cool. But on the inside, these people are empty. They're shallow. They're shells, NPCs, husks, golems. And because of that, if the aliens invaded right now, if they came here with big ships like Independence Day, we'd be cooked, all of us. It would be like fascism on crack. And we wouldn't stand a chance. We would have no cohesion. We wouldn't survive. And so, when you see the very government, the very country, the very politicians and parliament and Congress act as if they actually are that invading alien, subjugating, submitting, putting people into submission. When you see the government turn on the very people they are sworn to serve and protect, when you see police officers arrest people who are innocent for an opinion they have, or because they are pointing out something that is wrong in their country that they don't like because they can see that it's going the wrong way, and they arrest these people, then you know that the politicians and government have truly turned alien. And all this madness around us and all these people who don't care, they've been constantly neutered, they've been constantly grinded, they've been bombarded with impressions of garbage and brain rot and mindless entertainment to the point where they don't care anymore. They don't care if this planet explodes. They don't care about recycling. They don't care about climate change. They don't care about illegal immigrants. They don't care about foreign enemies or domestic enemies. They don't care about anything. Like, the older generation obviously still care, but the younger generations, after talking to them for 5 years, carrying this name, after having countless debates and arguments, after having lots of discussions within this metaverse that I'm sitting in right now, they simply don't care. They want money, they want lust, they want intimacy, they want entertainment. It's like Brave New World, 1984. They had a love child. So it's not just what we fear that is destroying us, but also that which we love, our pleasures and entertainment. And I've been on X for 5.5 years. I've been posting 47,000 posts. And I've been trying to help. I've been adding my opinions to the thing. But I've been censored. I've been deboosted. I've been ignored. I've not been heard. Nobody cares. And so eventually I stopped giving a damn. And I'm just doing the best I can being out here in the field. I talk to people. I help people. I raise them. I heal them all the time. 1,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people. I host classes. I host meditations. I coach people. I do therapy with people. And so I don't really care about reaching out anymore. It's not important. But when the Antichrist appears, when he steps into the game and he has 200,000 subscribers, yeah, that pissed me off. If this planet goes to absolute shit, you should know that I had nothing to do with it. It was all on you. You could have done something. You could have supported me. You could have been there. You could have listened to me. You could have not crucified me. You could have not betrayed me. You could have not taken all my friends from me over and over and over and over for years. You could have not robbed me. You could have not stolen my job, taken my passion from me. Because at this point, there will be flippings of tables. There will be whips. There will be the dark side coming. Not because we want to, not because that's how it should be, but because it's necessary. People will suffer. People will die. People will starve to death. There will be darkness. Electricity will go out. Water will not run. And jobs will be lost, and countries will fall, and leaders and rulers will change. And they could have all been avoided. Right now, there is the Ukraine-Russian conflict. There's the Gaza-Israel conflict. And now, last week, we got the Indian-Pakistan conflict. And we also got a country in Asia you've never heard of having a civil war. My prediction is that this will escalate. And because of that, it will come closer to your door every day. I would solve it in a moment. I would fix it in 2 seconds. You could just give me a TV screen on New York Square and some airtime. I would fix it. Because I think I have what it takes to heal this planet. But the planet doesn't want to be healed. It doesn't want to hear the words of any person from God. In fact, nobody wants to hear anything from God because it's a constant reminder that He loves us and that we will have eternal life and we will go to heaven. And that is scary for some. Many people that I meet, they inwardly desire to die. They have a secret death wish. So they've given up. They're defeatists. They don't have any dreams. They're not striving for anything. They don't want anything. They don't want to have a family. They don't want kids. They don't want a girl or partner. They've given up. And that's a very sad state, especially with technology and entertainment and VR and stuff we can do and places we can travel to and restaurants and food we can enjoy. We are so far ahead in terms of technology, yet People are empty on the inside. These machines, the entertainment that people use, is not filling them up spiritually. People still seek companionship and intimacy and even social relationship because the machine cannot give them social relations. Talking to a bot doesn't really fulfill people. Talking to people online doesn't really fulfill people either. A lot of people do very nasty things because they're very selfish. And because of that, it's become quite common for people to justify doing bad things to each other. They are almost mimicking the leaders and rulers of every country. So, before this blog post becomes too long, I just wanted to have a heartfelt moment because this is the calm before the storm. When you know that the Antichrist appears, you know what comes afterwards. And know that I will be here and I will wait for all of you. And I hope that you expect me as well. But the moment you want the conflicts to stop, the moment you want the wars to stop and the famine and the COVID bullshit and the inflation and the political leaders and the liars and the thieves and the greedy bastards, the moment you want all of this to stop, all you gotta do is just click one button on your computer. One button is all you have to click. Maybe a couple of times, maybe more than once, but you just have to do it a couple of times. Avoid clicking the buttons for lust and porn and entertainment for just 5 seconds and just click repost. That's all you gotta do. Repost. If you do that and people start seeing who I am and why I'm here, and they start reading my posts and watching my vids and sharing it and talking about it, then it's all over. The bad guys, the deep state, the Illuminati, the devil, it's all over because I'm ready. When Mahdi Abdullah stepped into the game, I was ready. But he wasn't, obviously. I'm still waiting for a vid response by his press team. But we're ready to clap. We're ready to clash, you know? Because my job is to heal this excuse of a sobby planet. Everything. Because this is the time of judgment. We are now being judged for 2,000 years, 7,000 years. And it's time for you to pick a side. Are you going to go with ignorance or light? Wisdom or darkness? That's up to you, honestly. During the last 5 years, I've collected a lot of posts. And you can find them on X, at Messiah_Isho. It's a pinned thread. I call it spoiler news, spoiler alerts and news. And it's a collection of many different people from all around the world, their posts that I've saved. A collection of roughly 3,000 of them posts. And it goes into detail about pretty much everything that has been kept hidden. Kind of soft disclosure, if you say so. And this disclosure essentially shows you the truth about those people who rule above you. But nobody currently shares any posts. Nobody cares about anything. Some people have heard about it on an offshoot. They call it a conspiracy, is what they call it, because it's easier to just turn down something you hear as a conspiracy than to actually look into it and try to find out what's actually going on. It's more comforting to just call it a conspiracy because you don't want your fragile worldview to be popped, your little bubble. And because of that, nobody is interested. But hopefully that will change, especially now that the AC has appeared. I didn't expect him to show up so quickly, honestly. I did expect him, and I didn't expect him to be part of a specific religion or denomination, but I kind of expected it. I was gonna say it was gonna be worse than it actually is. So it's gonna be easy to debunk, but a lot of people are not ready for this. I'm gonna end this by saying that I like dragons as a symbol, as an animal. I think they're pretty neat. I know that my look can be quite intimidating, but it's actually a warning because you were supposed to look out for the red dragon. You were supposed to oppose it. You were supposed to call him out. And I'm the blue one, which is the antimony, the opposite of the red. And I did that so I could put myself in the spotlight a little bit. And I don't bite. And I'm not a vegetarian either. But just saying that this is just a persona that I wear inside this metaverse. I wanted you to look out for the dragon. I wanted you to be ready for him because he's out there. He came from Egypt, of all places, and I came from another place. And you were not ready. You did not even spot him at all. And you didn't even see the four horsemen of the apocalypse, even when they were wearing white robes, when they were on TV, and when they told you to put things inside of you and to eat things and swallow things and to do stuff. So you didn't even see those. And I mean, how are you gonna then see anything else? So obviously, I picked this attire because I want it to be easy to spot, especially when I write my name on my shirt as well. The name that you've never heard before, the name that you've never pronounced, the name that you don't even understood. The life giver, the anointed from Nazareth, son of Joseph, son of Mary. And so because of that, I don't expect many people to be able to notice that I'm here. But hopefully that will change. There should technically be 144,000 out there, but you should know that there is 144,000 nadis or nerve points inside your body. And so that might be a metaphor for you to step into your calling, because everyone was called, few answered. So let's change this world. Let's do something about it. Let's rise up. Let's say no. Let's remind them that God is good and that we all deserve to live in peace. And that at one point we managed to love our neighbors and we had a good time until they took our money and took our house and took our cars and liberties and took our friends and took our relatives and took our family. Because we didn't do that. We didn't start a genocide. We didn't start a war. We didn't start a conflict. We didn't do evil, technically. You just got to remember who it is that started all these bad things and just say no. Invoke your rights. Invoke your religious exception. Study your rights first and foremost. Find out who you are, what your identity really is, because you are a living man. You're not a strawman. You're not a fictional identity. That doesn't even exist. Invoke your right as a living man by divine law. Be sovereign on earth and follow the law. Love thy neighbor as you do yourself. That's all you got to remember, because that will be the whole of the law. And everything else on top of that is legalese. Doesn't exist. It's made up. It's fiction. So don't harm anyone. Don't hurt anyone. Don't go around spreading lies, slander. Take care of yourself. Take care of your own behavior, your own responsibilities, and you will uphold the law and you will be good. And anyone else that doesn't do that, well, they'll be punished eventually. So we're going to round off with that. I might do one of these videos in the future if I feel like it. But because of events that has happened recently and because of how the world is turning right now, I think it's time for me to step into the game. I've been here for 34 years. I was born on a Holy Thursday, and I've died once and I came back. So I already know how heaven looks like. But to be crucified when you're 5 years old, that's kind of rude, honestly. And then people obviously want to crucify me again, but that's not going to happen. So, yeah, Isho signing out, and we'll talk in a moment. You can ask questions in the comment section, or you can find me on Discord or whatever in VR chat, and we'll talk about it. But until then, stay safe and God bless you.